Why they say when you're Christ-like,
Yep.
you want to be like him. And I always explain, because people will always come at me in a very malicious way, and they're like, oh, you're a racist, or you're homophobic, or you're da-da-da, you're this and that. And I'm like, bro, you haven't even read the Bible. If you watch this man and how much grace he gave everybody at a lower status, that's why he said the first is last and the last is first. That's why he rode in on a donkey. That's why the first person to witness that he came back from the dead was a prostitute. Like his conviction was just to be with everybody equally and try to show them that you could do it through love. And so your method of like the Stalin or the Putin or this version, to me, it's like all these rulers with they have no worth, so they have to scare you.
Well, what do they leave behind? What did Sparta leave behind besides some shards of clay? What did Athens leave behind besides an entire tradition of art and philosophy?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
What is it, like literature, like knowledge? Because I know they did take from them.
Well, I'm saying that you want. There's something about when your only idea of power is military might and smashing the radical thing about Christ and his teachings. The radical thing was love thy enemy.
Yeah.
Now think about that for a sec. Like, what is the value of that? Until you get older, you start to realize that's a radical and very important thing. Forgiveness. Why is forgiveness so important? Because revenge feels good. I don't know about you. If anybody fucks with you, you just go through these fantasies of revenge, right?
Yeah.
But Confucius said, before you seek revenge, remember to dig 2 graves, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like a mic drop moment, right? And a lot of the great wisdoms always talk about how revenge is, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. That was Gandhi.
Yeah.
So what is forgiveness? What is forgiveness about? What is love thy enemy? It's a radical concept, especially when this rabbi came up in Rome during a time during Caesar's reign where might makes right, eye for an eye. Those were the laws of the land. The idea that you would ever turn your cheek is it's
wussy-like.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It still is.
There's a lot of countries that still do the eye for eye.
Right. But the value of forgiveness, I'm not saying you shouldn't have justice. You need justice to run a society.
But you have to be a righteous judge.
There you go. Because forgiveness and loving your enemy, if something happens to you, the world will fuck with you. It'll fuck with you. And there's usually somebody behind that. And there are people that will take your dreams and tear them up. There are people that will stop your momentum just because they're shitheads. They might be jealous, resentful, whatever it might be. There are artists of pain. There are people that are just artists at creating pain on a wide scale because it's how they get off, okay? If you are stuck hating that person, if you are stuck on the idea of revenge, I'm not talking about self-defense. I'm not talking about making yourself strong. You should. But if you are stuck on the idea of revenge, if you're stuck on the idea of hatred and trying to get that person back so you can feel good, what happens is it calcifies you. It keeps you here, man.
It poisons you.
There's work to do. Yeah, there's work to do. Now you're just sitting here and you're just wallowing in your own. You can't become yourself. It poisons who you were before that, and that's why figuring out a way to forgive that person, radiating love toward that person so you can move on and get even stronger and better. That shit should make you stronger. That shit should make you more resilient. That shit should make you more generous, more compassionate. That's what a warrior does. It doesn't mean you shouldn't get a black belt in jiu-jitsu. It doesn't mean you shouldn't throw a right hand. It doesn't mean you shouldn't learn how to shoot straight. That doesn't mean that. That's all good, man. I'm a fan of that. I build your armor. Understand violence. Be a fucking killer if you have to. That's good. But also understand that a warrior can do the other thing because that's so hard.
All right, if you guys liked that clip, go ahead and hit that link in my description and watch the full podcast. You will not regret it. Thanks for your support. Love you.